The day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 350. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Mario Robinson.
First, I don't like the way you said the episode number. It's 350. Okay. It's
I'm sorry.
350.
I'm sorry. Are we bargaining with the Loch Ness? It's 350.
It's 350. All right.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money. I ain't giving him no 350.
There you go.
No, you are correct, Dan. It is episode 350. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We should have had 50 Cent on as a guest, but he was too busy. So
he's trying to make his way into the GTA 6 apparently.
I know, or Vice City. That's not actual actual video game.
Well, I mean, it's yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But before we start, I know I usually have the Spider-Man cup. I was a little in a rush. We were trying to scramble, do the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the sink. Didn't have time to wash it. I know it takes like 2 seconds to wash, but I have this thing where I need it to dry. And then listen, I'm weird when it comes to my cups.
Well, so I like a dry cup. I don't want a wet cup. I'm with you.
I broke out my fancy glass from my bar.
Hey. Well, I got
a fancy ice. I got a fancy ice in the cup too.
I was gonna say to the fans, let's play What's in Dan's Cup, and hit us up on social media. Let us know with the clear cup and the seeing that you can see the color of the liquid. It makes it a little bit easier to play What's in the Cup.
I can tell you this is not apple juice.
Well, okay, that's one guess down off the table. Let's see if the fans get it right. Hit us up. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on hit us up on Twitter. Let us know.
I still have my water. Okay.
So don't worry. All right.
We're not gonna get too saucy. But yeah, listen, happy Mario Day.
Right.
Happy day after Mario Day.
Mm-hmm. Did you pick anything up?
This the day after. I did. I got some amiibo that
very nice.
They're not hard to get. They're just expensive, right? Like they're like over $50, and I don't want to spend over $50 for any type of amiibo, to be honest. Even though I did buy the massive Yoshi amiibo that was at Toys R Us. It was a Toys R Us exclusive.
The plushy ones, though, right? Is that what those were?
It is a plushy one.
Okay.
And it is like the biggest amiibo they've ever made, right? Yep. And it was sold for $99 at Toys R Us at the time.
Right.
And I paid like $130 for mine.
Okay.
Right? And it's like now $500. So
damn. All right. Way to speculate on the market properly. There you go.
Damn, well, it's only going to go up. They don't go down. They're only going to go up. They're not going to go down. I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I did nothing for Mario Day. I saw all the lovely posts on Instagram and Twitter and Reddit and wherever else. That was cool. A lot of good stuff. For anyone who doesn't know, it's Mario Day because it's March 10th, the 1 and the 0, or like the I and the O. I think you mentioned that last week. It's cool. I love it. They had physical Nintendo games and some Donkey Kong games on sale, $20 off at Target. I decided not to buy any of those though, and $20 off is pretty good because those games never go on sale. So
yeah. Well, no, I got. I already had the original Mario amiibo, right? Because I have the Mario Party 10 bundle with the Mario amiibo, so I have that.
Right.
I got the original Bowser. I got the original Luigi.
What do you mean original? You mean the Smash Brothers ones?
Yeah, the original amiibo, the first ones that came out.
Okay.
And then I got, because remember there were like they had like two sets. Like they had like the regular Mario, regular Bowser, regular Peach or Princess Peach, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, and then they had like the, I mean they're all Smash Brothers I think, but then they had like the versions where Mario has like a fireball. Like they had like different ones, right?
Yeah.
So I have those. I didn't have the original ones that they bundled with the Mario Party 10 bundles. So I didn't have those.
Right.
I still don't have Yoshi. I still don't have the original Yoshi, but I got Bowser. I already had Peach, so I bought Bowser. I bought Luigi, which comes today actually, funny enough, and I brought Donkey Kong, and I already had Mario.
Nice. Speaking of Mario,
so that's what I did.
Just want to say the little Mario Ninja Turtle
Super
mashup.
Super Turtle Brothers,
Super Turtle Bros, baby. Yeah.
So if you listen to this, Dave has a shirt that says Super Turtle Brothers with Leonardo, a child turtle Leonardo on his shirt.
It's super cute.
Did you see the new turtle cartoon?
I did. The trailer for it. It looks pretty baller. People seem to be pretty hype about it too. So this should be good.
No, I like it. I like it. It looked cool. I just want to say, I don't give a shit that April O'Neil is black. She is a fictional character, okay? She is not a real person. So you can make her whatever you want.
This is true. Now, if you want to cast Scarlett Johansson as Harriet Tubman, that's a different situation. You can't do that. Can't do that.
No, because that was a real person.
Exactly. Yeah. You're whitewashing history. It's terrible.
April O'Neil.
Big distinction. She's not real.
April O'Neil is not real.
Not real. Uh-huh.
They were, even though there were some in the original comics, there were like some speculation that she originally was supposed to be black.
Okay.
And they had changed it or something like that. So look, I don't care what she is or what you make any of the characters. I don't really care. I thought it looked cool. I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, when I looked at the art style, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Seth wrote, Seth. I don't know if he's gonna, do a good job to this. But then I looked at it. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool.
No. You have to trust in Seth Rogen. He makes some good stuff.
So, all right, Dave. Let's get this show on the road. We have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about Starfield release date finally announced again. / delayed.
Was it announced originally? I thought we had an Amorphous 2023 date.
No. It was announced. It was announced for 11/11.
Oh,
and it got delayed.
Okay.
Right. So we have a release date announced again, but it also got delayed again, which then no one's talking about. And another big game in 2023 gets delayed, and we'll talk about that. But before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with Tunic. Tunic was originally the Xbox only game because it came out on Games Pass. Now it's out on all platforms, even the Switch.
Yep.
And it got a physical edition.
Yeah, well, it's getting a physical edition. Yeah,
it's getting the physical edition. Fan Gamer is putting out a physical edition for $45, coming out July 28th. I put my pre-order in.
I got my tab up. I haven't hit the buy now button, but I'm going to do it because I feel like that's going to sell out.
Yeah, I would do it now while we're recording. Well, let's make history. Do it now. I will say that it's only for the Switch though. It's not for any other platforms.
I think isn't there a PS4 physical too?
Oh yes, PS. No. You're right. It's a PS4.
Yeah.
Who wants a last gen physical edition? No.
Dan,
come on.
Are you being elitist right now? You play it on whatever system you want. It's not like it has the highest level of graphical fidelity. Even though it is a very beautiful game, it does look very pretty. But
you know why I'm advocate for the buy it on the Switch? Because it is a Zelda clone, and since it's a Zelda clone, in honor of us not having, like right now we have the Switch, right, the hybrid console. We don't have the 3DS 2. And the Wii U 2 or something like that, right?
No,
because we had the Wii U 2 or no the 3DS 2 or another handheld console separate from their gaming console. We would have sort of a Tunic style, like original Zelda game style game on there. They would separate. They would separate it.
Yeah.
You know that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
True.
So that's why I'm an advocate to get Tunic on the Switch.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I love this physical. It comes with a instruction book, a hardcover instruction book, by the way, that is very much an homage to the original Legend of Zelda, right down to the color scheme, right? It's kind of got that gold and red on there with like the weird kind of, I don't want to say like hieroglyphics or maybe like runic art, like kind of around the edges. You get a fold out overworld map, which is thankfully spoiler free, but that is also in the vein of the Legend of Zelda. And I think you get some other like little art pieces with it and whatnot for $45. It's pretty solid.
No, it's awesome. I would. No, I'm saying this is the system to get it on too.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of,
sorry, the hardback version is separate for $20. But you can get a special hardback.
I didn't buy that.
One.
I didn't buy that one. Next, Dragon Ball Z. You know I love it. I was a big Dragon Ball Z. Me and Brian, friend of the show. He told me today he wants to go to PAX for the first time. We're trying to get him to go to PAX.
Oh shit!
Since the second year we went to PAX.
That's right.
It was 2017, right? It was 2017.
Well, the first year that me and you went together, right? Because I've been going since 2010. Yeah. I missed a few years, but
we started the show in 2015, but it was like toward the end of the summer of 2015. PAX had already
PAX,
happened.
PAX 2015 passed.
We went in 2016, which I was spoiled because PAX was in April. That was the first PAX.
That was the best. The weather was pretty decent. Wasn't like
weather was great. Weather was great. It was t-shirt weather. Right? And then it was just blizzards and snowstorms ever since. So he told me today he wants to come to PAX. I've been trying to get him to come to PAX since the second PAX we went to.
That's right.
Yeah, 17. So he said he's coming to PAX. Hopefully, maybe one day he come to the show. Big fighting game fan. We love the Budokai series 1, 2, and 3 on the original PS2. Now it's making a comeback. Budokai Tenkaichi. I always butcher that name.
Budokai Tenkaichi.
I will never remember that. I will always say Tenkaichi because when I got it.
You said it differently like 3 times. 3 different ways.
No, listen.
Budokai Tentacles. Budokai Tentacles 9.
No. Is there a reason why I say it that way?
Oh, okay.
Because when I went to the store and I bought it. Okay, I did buy this, the original when it came. The store clerk said Tenkaichi, so it's stuck in my head now.
Oh, I see.
It's stuck in my head. I can only say it like the way, like when I first saw it, because I was like, to me, it was just another Budokai game, right? I didn't know it was sort of a different series, but I think it was a different developer too, if I'm not mistaken. So I call it Tenkaichi. I'm sorry. I call it that.
Sure.
So it's making a comeback. It looks awesome. I love the way they showed it, where it was like the original game into like how they have it now, like brand new. And I thought that was pretty cool. So definitely hyped for this. I know we get like Dragon Ball Z games like every year, different types of Dragon Ball Z games. And I know we had the Dragon Ball Z game that came out last year or 2 years ago, and it was like sort of like an RPG. I got it. Tried to get into it because I love.
Oh, Xenoverse? Was that the one?
No. It was another. No. We had Xenoverse 1 and 2, and then we got Dragon Ball Fighters, right?
Which was great. That was by the Guilty Gear guys. Great game.
And then we got another Dragon Ball game.
Kakarot?
I don't remember the.
Kakarot.
Yeah, it was Kakarot.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was more of like a Dragon Ball Z RPG game where you level up your character and you go around. I tried to get into it. Wasn't the biggest fan of it because I kind of went just action. Like when I played Dragon Ball Z games, I kind of wasn't into like fishing and going here.
Yeah.
All the stuff that you would do in a regular RPG.
Yeah, right.
Into that.
All the little side questing stuff, sure.
Yeah, and then I was tempted to get it because it finally came out on the Switch because it came out on PS4 and Xbox One, and then it came out on the Switch. I was tempted to get it on the Switch. And then I was like, no, even at the discounted price, didn't want to get it because I was like, I know it was just wasting my money on that. But I'm looking forward to this because this is a straight fighting game. So, and if it's at PAX next year, me and Brian are definitely gonna pay it. We're gonna play it.
Okay. Yeah. It looks cool. I don't know if it's just me. I remember the Tenkaichi games or Tenkenshin. I remember those games as being a little
Tenkaichi. Yes.
I remember those games being a little button mashy, a little less on the like the precise skill and more on the like super big effects, right? You could do the big spirit bombs and the power-ups and, you know, you're kind of flying around and whatnot. Not to say it wasn't a fun experience, but it felt a little less like a structured, like a Street Fighter fighting game and more like I don't know if Smash Brothers is the right word, but I will say, though, the fan service was high, all right? Because they kept improving the roster. By the time they got to the third one, you got like super deep cuts in there. The roster was huge. You got, you know, all the different versions of Goku, all the Super Saiyan versions and whatnot, all the melds and the transformations, and it was really cool. And I know you could customize your fighters too, so that was kind of neat. So cool. Yeah, I'm glad it's coming back. Trailer was cool. And the fans want it, right? I mean, the fans are going nuts over this. Yeah.
Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing lately?
Well, sorry, Dan, I'm going to have to deny the games that we've been playing because I have a gamer grief that I need to get out of the way first. All right?
Whoa. Okay.
And I'm putting the Xbox store on blast. All right.
Wait. I don't know what your game. This was a last minute adjustment to the notes. I didn't notice ahead of time.
It's happening.
You an Xbox aficionado.
I'm putting them on
an Xbox fanboy.
Listen. No, I'm not a fanboy. Not a fanboy.
Yes,
original
you are.
Original Xbox was hot trash. I'm sorry, only had a couple good games. All right, I'm saying it now.
I'm an original Xbox apologist for Dave, but still. You are on that train. You are on that Xbox train.
I do like
have a gamer grief with the
I do like
store?
the Xbox ecosystem more than I do the PlayStation. I frequently, actually since the 360, I've always bought the Xbox console first and then the PlayStation 1 second. Sure, I'll give you all that. But this is hot garbage, Dan, because and we're gonna talk about the Capcom stuff later in the show and whatnot, but I want to talk about the Resident Evil 4 remake, the demo that came out.
Okay, the chainsaw demo, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, they're calling it the chainsaw demo. Well, I played it. I played it, but it took longer than 2 seconds to find it. You should be able to go onto Xbox in the UI when you're on the home screen, and they should have a call out. Hey, there's a Resident Evil 4 chainsaw demo. You can download it here, and you're good to go. Couldn't find it anywhere. I looked on Games Pass. I looked in the store. You could pre-order Resident Evil 4 in its different versions. You could get the other Resident Evil games. I had to go on my phone, type in, where do I find the Resident Evil 4 demo on Xbox? Log into Xbox.com with my Microsoft account. Set it up that it could do the remote thing and trigger the download, and then I had to click get game. All right.
Okay.
I did it within about like 15 minutes, but it should have been 2 minutes to have it start downloading. It's not hard. Shouldn't be this hard to find it. I don't know why you can't find the demo. Maybe it's easier on PlayStation, but Xbox is messing up. And this is an Xbox thing, right? Because Capcom is going to say, okay, here's the demo or whatever. Can you put it up or whatever? Maybe they give Capcom tools to like set it up. Maybe they get a dashboard and whatnot, but I think it's Microsoft that's setting this up. Capcom says, okay, this game is ready to go. Here's the details for it. Xbox sets up the card and the whatever else, and it should be searchable. I think that's how that works. So regardless, even if it is Capcom's fault, it's not displayed in the Xbox store. You can't find it without going to Microsoft. If I'm wrong, let me know. Hit us up on Twitter or the social medias. Let us know that I'm wrong and how to find it. But it's not there. It's not there.
Okay.
So, that out of the way, I played the demo.
You found it. You downloaded it.
Fuck this demo.
Okay.
Fuck this demo. Because what this demo? I'm sorry.
Is
Hey,
it rated R? Is it
no,
rated R?
you already dropped some. You already dropped some 7 words you can't say on TV. All right. No. Because you do the intro, right? They skip the intro cinematic because there is no like you're sitting in a car and you're talking to the phone or whatever. Like maybe that's in the full version. Car's already stopped and you got to go and find your cop friend or whatever who went like running off. All right, and you do the bit. There's a new little like opening house that you walk through, which is really cool. And you get to the town, right? And then you start seeing the Gyarados running around, right? The like infected. And then after like a minute, and the chainsaw guy comes in. And depending on how you like move around the town is depending on how he will intro himself. I had him intro in 2 separate ways. And that dude comes after you. And I believe they just throw a ton of enemies at you to where you are going to ultimately die, which is why they call it an unlimited demo. I think that's how that goes down. Because the both times I played, I got swarmed. I didn't have enough ammo. I was trying to run around town.
And I hate that. That sounds terrible. I haven't got a chance to play it. That sounds terrible. I've been playing another demo, which we're talking about, but that sounds terrible.
Right.
I don't want to.
Because I think what happens in the original when you get to the town proper, that there's eventually a mission bell that gets triggered, and then all the Gyarados start running towards the church. And then that's where they're coming in.
If I remember correctly, because I remember, just when doing the show, I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time. Never really got past never got past sort of like the first hour. Mm-hmm. I remember, like you're going in town and everything was fine and you're asking questions and something got triggered and then they're coming at you. Like everyone's coming and converging on you. And I wish I had more bullets in my gun and I could just shoot everybody, right?
Yep.
Like you got to kill like the first 2 people that come in and you got to figure out a way to get somewhere.
Yep.
And I was just like, I am out. I'm done. I tried.
Yeah.
Not for me. Not for me.
Well, I think this is designed in a way for you to always get killed. I think maybe there's a way to get past it. I'm gonna like keep playing because there's definitely like I want to explore it a little bit more.
My friend.
Well, it's good, but it's also fuck it because you get the big chainsaw guy coming after you. You know how I hate chainsaws.
I know. Well, you know what? You should be playing it on PC. I don't know if they have a demo for PC, a PC demo. You can mod it to where it's not a chainsaw. It could be a Subway sandwich.
Oh, or it could be Thomas the Tank. But like, even if it's a Subway sandwich, it's still going to have the sound of the chainsaw, unless they modded that out. Well, it would be like a squeeze bottle.
He'd shoot you. He'd shoot you. It could be the choo-choo train.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would definitely make it a little more palatable if I had a sandwich coming after me or Thomas.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do it, Dan, because I love it. It is fantastic. You gotta get into it. You gotta fight the fear.
I technically don't want you to buy this game. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to buy this game. I'll be honest. I don't want you to buy this game.
Okay.
You know why? Because I want you to play this game in PSVR 2. I want you to buy it eventually. Eventually, you will. Mm-hmm. Not now. I know. Right, we're both not going to buy it right now.
Did they say RE4 has got a VR patch coming? I forget.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
You can play this in VR too.
I'll go back through it again. I would get the VR and do the VR experience because the game is that good. And by all accounts, the remake is looking great. There's already some changes for the better, I think. Just to the obviously the graphics and all that, sound design, the control, but also in the way it's set up. Right, there's like a new little, if I remember correctly, like that first building you go into wasn't there in the first one. I think you go to the little save room area, and they give you like I think bullets and maybe like a green herb or whatever, and then you go into town. But then now you see the Gyarados before you get to town. So. But anyway, I've been playing that, and I am almost done with Metroid Prime Remastered.
Wow, you really put some time into it.
Yeah, it's not a super, super long game, but I'm at the point where I'm getting all the artifacts. I have one more artifact to go. Then you go back I don't want to ruin anything for people, but the artifact portion is the last part, and then there's a few more boss battles, and then game over. So, yeah, man, it's super good, super fun. I love it. Possibly may get nominated for Game of the Year.
It's about 13 hours to finish.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay.
There's a lot of backtracking in that game. If there's one criticism, there's a lot of backtracking. You go all the way to this biome to get this thing, to go all the way back to the other biome to get this thing.
Metroid.
To go to this No, but
what?
it's like...
Guess what? I can't call it a Metroidvania because it's a Metroid game.
But it's like... It's
a Metroid style game.
But but they do that with like every major power-up. You will go like Super Metroid, like you get a power up, right? But you can still like go around that area and explore it and opens up some stuff there. But yeah,
but that was like a 2D slide scroller. This is first person.
No, it's a little egregious, if I have to say. But anyway. So what have you been playing, Dan?
So I did download Wolong Fallen Dynasty on Games Pass.
Nice.
Completely hate this game.
Not a fan. Okay.
Not a fan. I played the demo. Demo was a little bit easier. I'm not. This is 1,000% sort of like Elden Ring. This is a Souls.
Oh, it's a Souls-like game. Yeah. Okay. Just in ancient China or medieval China or whatever it is.
It's not. I'm gonna assume it's not as hard as Dark Souls because like in Dark Souls, like just. I played Elden Ring and like the guy hit me twice and I was dead. Right?
Yep.
That was it.
Yep. That happens.
That was it. It was like it's like playing a third person NES game, right? Back in the day where you get hit once, you get hit twice, right?
Yep.
Like you had 3 hits and you're dead, right? Like
Yep.
And 3 hits if you're lucky if it was 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that. On here, I was doing pretty good with one or two, 3 guys. I got them, and then it was like, well, where's the health packs? I need the health packs. I don't see any health packs. I got like 7 guys coming at me, and now I'm dead. Right. So I was like, okay, I can't even get past the opening scene. I'm done. This is no, not for me.
Okay.
Not for me.
Okay.
But I've been playing Bayonetta Origins, the demo, and remember, I was highly skeptical of this game. Because of the twin stick part, right? Because it's not a traditional Bayonetta game as the first 3 Bayonetta games. And I'm glad they put it out a demo because just based on the fact that you control one, Bayonetta and you control sort of the Shisha Cat, right? And with the other sort of twin stick controlling 2 different characters on the screen at once. I didn't know how that was going to be. And I was sort of like, nah, that doesn't sound like something I want to do. But now that I'm getting into it and I see how it is, I am more confident in this game. I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. Now I kind of dig it, right? You get the first 2 areas in the demo, and they say that the saves carry over to the real game.
Oh, nice.
I just played a game completely over again because I've been skipping all the cutscenes, so I have no idea what's going on, to be honest. I just wanted to get to the twin stick part so I can understand. And yeah, you really do control the 2 characters, right? Like one character can only go this way, and the other character can only go this way because the magic barrier stops this character from going this way. So you really do have to sort of, and if you're too far away, like if one character is too far away, you lose, right? Like there's like, oh, Bayonetta is too far away from.
Oh, you lost the connection between the characters.
Then they die.
Okay.
Right. So you really have to go in tandem, right? Like I got to go this way, and then I got to go up this way, right? So I thought that was pretty cool, and I was like, all right, this game has redeemed itself in my eyes.
It's growing in
a
you.
demo.
All right.
Yeah, it needed a demo for it to grow on me, and I kind of like it now.
Cool.
So I went from hyped to buy this game to I don't know if I'm going to buy this game.
To back to being hyped.
I'm back to being hyped to buy the game.
That's a hype sandwich right there. There you go.
So I'm definitely going to buy the game. I'm looking forward to it. I've been playing that, and I've been trying to figure out what Saturday morning retro game I'm going to play for this month.
Okay.
I know we're going to PAX this month. I don't know how that's going to impact our Saturday morning retro coverage. Right? Don't know if we're gonna miss that show. Hopefully, we don't get to miss that show.
We're gonna make it work, Dan. We're gonna make it work.
We're gonna try to make it work. We're gonna try to make it work.
Okay,
But
Tim Gunn the crap out of it. Make it work.
I know, but PAX is big for us this year, and we're gonna do a crap load of PAX coverage. Right?
That's
We're gonna
right.
tell you everything that happened at PAX. But I'm leaning towards, and it's early in March, and we try to figure out what we're gonna do, like late the previous month, early into the month that we're in. But I think we're gonna do Pikmin 3 for the Wii U.
There it is. Well, I tell you what, if we're talking about our SMR picks, I'm going with Kid Icarus Uprising. The triumphant
3DS.
return. The triumphant return of Pit and Palutena.
Yeah.
Haven't seen them since. If you take out his Smash Brothers appearances, because that doesn't really count. That's all Sakurai's doing. If he wants a character in the game, he will put that character in the game, hell or high water. He makes it happen. So can't really say that that's interest from Nintendo, because Pit and even Dark Pit, I mean, there's technically 2 characters that are in Smash Brothers. So I'd love to see him return. Like I said before, I think Kid Icarus would make a great return to form. I think they have the first one on Games Pass. I think it's on the Nintendo Games Pass. But
Nintendo games. I
mean, NSO, Nintendo Switch Online. You don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Nintendo Game Pass.
First you said Games Pass, and I was like, yeah. Wait, no, I don't think.
Listen. The Microsoft Nintendo partnership is coming.
I think Dave has too much apple juice in his cup.
Oh boy,
he hasn't shown.
Well, I don't know about that.
Kid Icarus and Games Pass.
All right, anyway.
Well, I know, as a side note, and I was going to talk about this on the SMR show. If we did one this month, hopefully we get a chance to, like I said. But a lot of Wii U's, if you haven't used a Wii U in a while, a lot of these Wii U's are being bricked for some reason.
I heard.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't really listened to why, because I get immediately, as soon as I saw videos about it being bricked, I just turned my Wii U on. It was working, but I do have 2. I have the white one, which I haven't turned on in God knows how long. All right, the one. Remember the original? Remember they had the white one that came out. That didn't have that much memory in it.
Yep.
And then they had the black one that came out. That was a little bit more expensive with more memory. But it was like the one they get was like $50 more. It was like, why would you get the white one?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
All right. So I got both, and I hope the white one's not bricked. I barely used it ever.
I think it's due to some of the chips. Maybe some of the RAM or the whatever else gets faulty, or for whatever reason. But I think some chips are going south. So yeah, check your Wii U's. Check your Wii U's.
And that just sucks for you know who that sucks for. People who want to buy the Wii U, like when it becomes like super retro. It's not really retro right now, right?
Yeah.
Because it was the console before the Switch. But when it becomes super retro, when it becomes 15 years old, because it came out in 2012, so we're looking at 2027. People who grew up with that 2027, 30, when it was really kind of those young adults become they have a little bit of spending money and they want to buy a Wii U. It kind of sucks because not a lot of them were sold, right? So
yeah,
and then you
probably the lowest selling, besides the Virtual Boy, lowest selling console for Nintendo.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, lowest selling home console for Nintendo.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be like 2027, 2020, 2030. You have disposable income, and then you're going to overpay for it in DK Oldies because it's not going to be really refurbished.
If DK Oldies is even still around at that point, you're being optimistic for DK Oldies.
It's not going to, it's not going to work because it wasn't refurbished. They didn't replace the chips or replace the batteries or whatever. So, all right, there was my DK Oldies dig for the episode.
Hey, we gotta get at least one in from here on out, I think.
Yeah, listen, and by the way, for people who mention this, people come to me, listen to the show. I'm fair. If Lukey Games or JJ Games say they refurbish and it's not refurbished,
call them out for it.
Call them out for it.
But Lukey won't do that. Lukey won't do that. We stand Lukey. Lukey's a good company.
But I will say this. I don't know if I haven't really bought any consoles from Lukey, to be honest. I think maybe that may not be true. I don't know. I don't remember early on. Maybe I did buy some consoles, but the games, I know when I see the games come in, a lot of them look like they've been resurfaced. So they definitely sort of clean their games because they look like they're resurfaced.
Right.
And the cartridges look like they've been cleaned. So I haven't opened up any cartridges or anything like that, but the pins look like they've been cleaned, and the discs definitely look like they've been resurfaced. I can see some of the white residue like on the inside.
Right. So. That's what you should be doing, right? People are buying these games to play them, right? You want to have them in working condition. That's the point, right? It's not just selling it as is like you're an eBay seller. But I can't speak to the actual consoles. That I won't. All right, well,
I'm not co-signing. I'm not co-signing the consoles because a lot of the consoles I did buy on eBay.
Based on both our experiences with Lukey games and all the games that we bought, we could probably assume that they put the same care into the consoles. They're going to be in good working condition.
But I think JJ Games, out of all of them, JJ Games, which is went out of business and came back, are the best representation of like a retro console store, because they say, no, this is what you're buying. This is for the price. And we didn't do shit to it.
Right. It is what it is. Yeah, this is what it is.
It is what it is.
But the price is commensurate with the quality of it.
The market.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too, right? Like,
well, both. Yeah.
So they say this, you actually see, because I love it, because when I would buy like the more expensive games, they say, hey, you can get Mega Man 6. I'll never forget this. When I got all the Mega Man games, there was like, you can get Mega Man 6 perfect condition for this price, or you get Mega Man 6. You got a chip at the cartridge is chipped, has a hole in it, but you can get it for a lower price. And I got that one because at the time I didn't have any money, that much money, and I wanted to get all the Mega Man games. So, and I still have it, and it works, by the way.
Nice.
So JJ Games, good on you. On that. So on that note, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week. And we're back for the second time. I know what you're saying, Dan. Something seems off from the original part.
I'm
wearing a different shirt. I know. I'm wearing a white shirt. I know. So the video portion of the second part was corrupted. Right? It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
We may or may not have had some technical issues. Whoever was behind the camera needs to be fired, I think.
All right, that's it. Off with their head.
Done. We invented the guillotine for a reason.
So we still have the audio version. We don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but we're going to re-record the second part so we could be in sync with the audio that we do put up, right? And I love the first part. I thought the first part was magic.
Listen.
Now we're going to have to recreate the magic, okay?
We'll make it happen.
We're going to have to be Hogwarts Legacy, something that we don't talk about in the show because we want to avoid any type of controversy.
We can get into Hogwarts if you want, but...
Well... No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't want. I don't want the controversy.
The only thing I'll say about all of it, and this is a non-controversial opinion, but it is just a way of life. It is hard to be an ethical consumer. Every single thing you consume has some sort of caveat with it when you consume it. So Hogwarts is not the only thing. So.
Yes, that's actually true.
So there you go. That's. I think that's an important thing to bring up.
All right, so let's get into top gaming news of last week, part 2.
The Redux.
The Redux, the deluxe version.
There you go. All right, see, special edition. All right,
special edition. All right. So we're going to try to recreate some of the magic that we had. Okay,
it's always magic, baby. Come on now.
Yeah, well, I went from having what may or may not be apple juice in my special cup, just water. Just water.
Okay.
All right. So E3, the infamous E3 is happening. We know that's happening, and they confirmed the release dates for E3, which is going to be June 13th and June 6th. June 13th through the 16th. I'm looking forward to it, even though the major hitters won't be there. Microsoft, Sony, or Xbox. Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. Sorry.
Right. Well,
Microsoft, just real quick, Microsoft has confirmed they will not have a presence on the show floor.
Right.
At all.
That's the thing that's missing for Microsoft, because they've always done in their own theater, right? They don't use the
Correct.
E3 stage. Yeah.
Correct.
Same thing with EA. Sony's never been there for the last 2-3 years at least, but they always have a thing around that time. And Nintendo has show presence but does a digital presentation.
Correct.
So it's interesting. Things have been changing a little bit. Honestly, I know you're big on E3. I'm not so big on E3 anymore because it's not the only game in town. We get stuff that's happening all the time now. We get directs all the time. We get showcases throughout the year.
I don't want the directs all the time. And we're going to talk about the Capcom.
I'm aware.
We're going to talk about the Capcom showcase a little later on, right? A little lackluster, needless to say, right? And it's because they sprinkle it throughout the year instead of having a one big time where we get to be excited about what's happening.
I get that, but then we'd get almost no information throughout the rest of the year. We would have nothing to talk about. So they kind of they spread it out for us.
We would talk about all the rumors.
Oh, right. Yeah, and then have them all crushed at E3 and then we say, "Oh, hey, that was a terrible Ubisoft presentation. Where was all the stuff?"
No. So you got to take it back before the zombie apocalypse, right? 2020, and even take it back even before then, 2018, 2019, right? I know Sony wasn't there in 2019, but 2018 was the last time we had everybody there, right? We said this was bad or this was disappointing because we were comparing them to the other conferences,
right?
Now we're just saying it's bad in the last 2 years because they just didn't have anything to show.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. And I wanted to go back to the way it used to be where we could, judge it based on comparing it to the other conferences and what everybody else had to show. And that's what I want.
Yeah. Well,
that's when it was exciting.
Do you think we're ever going to get back to that time? That's the question. I
was hoping we would, since E3 is not dead. It's on life support, but it's not dead. I was hoping we'd get back to that time, but no, I don't think we're gonna get. If the major three aren't gonna be there, if we're not gonna get the, it's $299 or I forgot exactly what it was.
Yeah, $299. Yeah, the Sony conference. Mm-hmm.
No. Sony conference is $199. I'm just saying, it's out and it's out right now, today. It's out right now. It was a Saturn, and then on PlayStation it was just it's $199, and then just walk off. Or you're gonna be online. Sorry if you don't have the internet. We have a console for you, the 360. And then right after that we have this is how you share games.
Right. You just hand it to somebody and give it to somebody. Yeah.
Those moments.
There were some magic moments for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get that anymore because they're going to be able to control the message, and it's not going to be I'm going to be able to one up you, right? We're not going to have that anymore.
I'll agree that excitement, while few and far between, was awesome. Yeah, they were definitely some of the best moments of E3 for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Xbox or Microsoft. We know that they're not going to be on the show floor, but they will be at E3, kind of. They've announced the Xbox Game Showcase for 2023 will be June 11th, right? Which is just 2 days before E3 starts,
right?
Which is just a day before EA does their presentation. If EA does a presentation this year, because they usually do it the Saturday before E3 starts.
Right. Microsoft goes that Sunday, right, and then E3 kicks off that Monday. Yeah.
But they're going to be on the June 11th now, which I don't know what day that is off the top of my head. Oh, let's check. You know what? Let's check. That's the power of doing this twice.
We can get in there and see what's up.
We can actually check. Let's pull up a calendar and go to June. So June 11th is June 11th is a Sunday this year.
Yeah, that's the time they do it. Yeah.
No, but usually E3 starts on Sunday. E3 starts on that Sunday, and it goes through that Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then but this year E3 is Tuesday going all the way through Friday, which is kind of weird that they didn't take one of the week, a weekend.
Well, I mean they were
Which is kind of bad in itself. That the whole weekday.
They were still debating up until now. Are they going to have it? Or are they not going to have it? Like, we just got the announcement, so they must have like finalized stuff a couple weeks ago or whatever. You know, they're like, all right, we're doing it. Yeah. This is what it is.
But more interesting in Microsoft's post, not only are we getting a Microsoft Xbox showcase June 11th, but Starfield gets a new release date again. Because remember, it was supposed to release 11/11, and then they said it was going to release the first half of this year, and then it got secretly delayed. Well,
they were saying first half, yeah.
They said the first half. They said it. Well, they said at last E3, talking about E3, bringing it full circle. Last E3, the showcase. Xbox
I mean,
showcase,
sure,
which was their final showcase at E3. They said every game shown today will be released between now and next E3, which is the first half of the year.
Right.
And Starfield's coming out in September 6th. It's when I said, too. I said if it does come out this year, because I think it may be delayed, it needs to come out in September, and I was right. Yeah, it's coming out in September.
You definitely weren't wrong. No, you got it. You got it spot on. You know, and listen, I didn't disagree with you. Reasoning is sound. Right, it's before any of the other yearly big hitters come out. It's the start of Christmas 1.
Not this again. I thought we were gonna.
No, because it is. I love it because it always triggers Dan. It triggers Dan.
No, I thought we were done with this in the first. If we have
a Christmas 2, which we both agree we are in Christmas 2 right now, right? The second coming of the AAA games.
We are. Christmas 2 ends. Christmas 2 ends, but I think we disagree when Christmas 2 ends. Christmas 2 ends when E3 starts, in my opinion.
Well, that's a long Christmas. I would say like end of March, I think. Like, we don't necessarily get a lot, except for Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in like May, but...
No, I think May. I think Christmas starts. Christmas 2 starts in February. I don't count January.
In January, it can be a little rough. Yeah, most stuff. Although we did get like one or two big things.
I know, but Resident Evil games usually came out in January for the last couple of years. But I don't count January.
Yeah.
I count, that's like the buffer between Christmas 1 and Christmas 2.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. February is bigger, right? Well, Horizon Zero Dawn came out then.
February through May, I think, is Christmas 2. That's what I think.
Okay. But all that, Christmas 2, means that there has to be a first Christmas.
Just the first. It's just the Christmas. It's not Christmas 1. It's just Christmas.
But it is the first Christmas. If there's a second one, you have to call it the first Christmas, and it would be Christmas 1.
No. We got Listen. We got PlayStation. They didn't call it the PlayStation 1.
Oh, here we go.
PlayStation. And PlayStation 2. They made a mini, which is called the PS. And so if you want to call the PS1 the PlayStation 1, fine. Because that's what it's actually called, because it's on the system.
The last iteration. That's what I had mentioned the first time around, is that the fourth version, there was 3 versions, and then the fourth one was the mini white one, and it said PlayStation ONE.
Well, you know what? I can kill your argument right now.
And they did that. Wait.
Xbox One. We got an Xbox One, but it was the Xbox 3. It was the third one. It wasn't even the first one.
Then you have to call the original Xbox the original Xbox. You couldn't just say I have it for Xbox
One, but it's the Xbox One. Technically, it's the Xbox One.
It is the Xbox One. That is just the name of the console, though. They don't go with 1, 2, 3 though. See, that's the difference. Xbox 2, it's the 360, not the Xbox 2. It's different.
It should be. Well, you know what? The Xbox One should have been called the Xbox 360, right? You saw that?
Oh, well.
360.
That's I honestly, it really should have been called Prime, but that's a whole nother situation. It's true.
Your name is. Listen. No one's taking naming advice from you. Okay?
Prime is the same thing as 1, Dan. It means the same thing, but it's less confusing.
I know. You wanted it to be called Prime. They didn't call it Prime. They didn't call it the light switch.
No.
You thought they was call it the light switch.
I mean, it would have been a great meme. Everyone would have loved it.
Yeah. No. So I'm looking forward to it. We're both gonna play it day 1, right? Because it's on Games Pass.
Well, for sure. So, yeah.
I'm sure if they do put out a physical, which they haven't said anything about, I haven't seen anything at least. It will probably just be some assets on the disc, or just access to the. It'll just be access to the digital version.
Wait. For Starfield?
Yeah, for Starfield.
Why would they not do a physical? I'm confused.
We just got Psychonauts 2 physical.
Well, yeah, but that was a weird. They were already in production with that ahead of time, and it wasn't. I mean, I guess Starfield is done by Bethesda, which I guess is the same as it being done by Double Fine, right? Psychonauts being done by Double Fine. It is a first-party studio, but it's not Microsoft directly, I guess. It's not Microsoft Game Studio directly. I don't know. I just assumed Starfield would be getting a physical.
There are no Starfield physical editions up for up on any of the sites.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to make this a little spicy,
so
Dan.
far.
I'm going to make this a little spicy.
No.
I'll bet you $5 that there will be a physical version at launch. Come on.
I'll take that bet. I don't think so.
Yeah?
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and clarify now, because I know like Dan, I know how Dan likes to weasel out of bets. We're not talking about PlayStation and Nintendo. I'm specifically saying Xbox. All right, 9/6 on the day when it's supposed to release. Now, if it gets delayed again, doesn't count. All right? I'm just saying when the game releases. All right. If it gets delayed and it comes out in, I don't know, 2024 for some reason, if there's a physical on day one, that counts. All right. Those are the stipulations of the bet. Physical version day one.
No.
Yeah.
I only say physical version of September 6th.
No.
It has to come out September 6th.
No.
That's it.
No. See, there you go. He's already couching the bet. This is why I have to stipulate. See, you would have made.
Well, I'm putting stipulations.
Well, the bet is canceled. All right, we're done. Bet is canceled. It's not happening.
Because I guarantee you, the physical edition will not be out September 6th.
Well, why would that change? Why would that change with any other date then? I mean, it's not hard to press a disc.
Yeah, but they're not going to press a disc because it's not going to be on a disc. It's just going to be access to the digital version because they.
Oh, that doesn't stop Call of Duty. They still press a physical. That whole entire game is a download.
That's because they don't have Games Pass. That's why. When they do Game Pass, they're going to be in the same. They're going to be in the same boat.
Well, all right.
Well, let's shift gears and talk about Sony and Call of Duty. I'm glad you talked about Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we know the ongoing saga between Microsoft and Sony with Activision Blizzard.
Oh, are they?
Trying to buy them for
are they battling? Is there an acquisition going on?
70, 90, 80, 100 trillion billion dollars. Who knows? They're numbers.
Those are numbers.
Right?
Those are numbers. Those are all numbers.
Right? Yeah.
Some amount of large money that we can't fathom.
Yeah. I just want a quarter percent of that amount of money. That's it. A quarter. Just a quarter.
Yeah. Break you off a little piece. Okay.
Yeah.
Just imagine how much that would be. Right? We say like a quarter of whatever that bag is. That's still like what, a million? Couple million?
It would still be enough to have the largest video game collection in history.
And then some. And you could have 2 copies of Little Samson.
There you go. You know what? I can have 2 copies of Little Samson and 2 copies of Clay Fighter Sculptor Edition.
Well, you already have one, Dan. That's not fair.
I already have one, so I can buy another one.
Don't rub that in my face. All right.
I get another one. I can get another one. What? You get one too? Okay.
I could get a lot of things. Money is the barrier.
Listen, don't get mad at me because you choose to eat and have a roof over your head over by Little Samson.
You're right. You're right, Dan. I made that decision.
You made that decision.
I made that decision that food is
and
more
you got to live with and you got to live with it.
You're right. You're not wrong. What are we talking about again?
So Sony fears that, and I'll tell you why I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
People calling Sony ridiculous. Sony fears that Microsoft could, knowingly or unknowingly, have an inferior version of Call of Duty on PlayStation. And I'll tell you why I don't think Sony is ridiculous in this matter, because people aren't looking at it in its entirety. They're just looking at it at face value. Like, why would Xbox put out an inferior product? They want to make money. They want everybody to play, right? But taking into account what just happened 2 generations ago with the PS3 and 360, as we were just talking about the 360. Right? The PS3 architecture was different than a 360, right? They had the cell processor. So let's say, for instance, if Sony wanted to do something different and we'll call it the cell processor 2, the Cell 2, right?
Okay.
The PS6 or the PS7, right? Where it's different architecture. And it's not as easy to develop for, right, as the previous console. Now, if Call of Duty, Activision Blizzard was a third-party company, they would say, you know what, it's going to be easier to put it on the Xbox console, right? It's even probably easier to put it on a Nintendo console. It just, graphically won't be as good as the Xbox console. Right?
Switch version is going to be an infinite downgrade.
Yeah, even the Super Switch, which that's my naming convention. Like, I wanted to be Super Switch.
I'm with you.
It's not going to be as powerful as the next Xbox console or as the next PlayStation console, right? But it would still graphically be a downgrade from those consoles. A third party would say, you know what, we got to put resources, put extra money in, put resources to make it work on the PlayStation console, because it has the Cell 2, as we're going to deem it, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to cultivate an audience on that console and make the most money, right? They're going to put in the R&D to make it work.
For sure.
The marketing would probably be with whoever is easiest to go for, wherever the audience is, right? Majority. So look, if PS6 or the PS7 is outselling the Xbox and it's still hard to develop for, they're going to put all their R&D into making it work on that console. So will Microsoft do the same, right? Will they do the same? Will they say, you know what, we're going to put in the R&D to put it out on the PlayStation? They have the audience. They have the bigger audience.
Well, it is the biggest platform.
Or maybe they don't, which is even worse, right? Maybe they don't have the biggest audience. Maybe they won back control, right? Maybe they have the 360 popularity that they once had. Will they put the resources into making it work on the next PlayStation console, like they would, like Activision Blizzard would do, because they're a third party, right? Or would they say, you know what, we got we put it out on the Super Switch. It doesn't look as good, but that audience is happy. It's probably not going to sell as well anyway, because people on the Switch probably don't want their first-person shooters, Call of Duty first-person shooters. I mean, we saw that with the Wii, and the Call of Duties on the Wii didn't sell as well, or the Wii U.
It'll be the least performing of the 4 platforms if you include PC, for sure.
We have it on the Games Pass, so people don't have to, they have to subscribe. They don't have to actually pay $70, $80 for it, right? At that point, right? Because we're talking about a generation or 2 generations ahead. The price may even go up, right? Is it even worth it to make it work, crisp and smooth as the one on Games Pass on the next PlayStation console? Well, we could just put it out. It'll be buggy. We'll put some patches out, try to fix some of that stuff, and it will be a PR disaster. And that is what I think Sony is worried about.
Well,
your thoughts?
Okay, not to mention, yes, I'm with you on all that. Not to mention, well, I guess 2 things. One, it'd be bad for the brand, right? You say PR nightmare, like the brand is going to get tarnished. You put out a bad version of Call of Duty. You put a bad version of the Call of Duty on like the Wii, no one's going to really care because no one's playing it on that system, right? It's bad, but it's not terrible. The core audience was on Xbox 360 and PS3. Same now with the PS5 and the Series, if they put out a bad version on one of those 2 consoles, it's going to be disastrous for the brand. So that when the next Call of Duty comes out after that, it's going to be even worse. People are going to be like, well, I don't know if I want to get this, right?
Do you really believe that? Right? Or will people say, you know what, I'll just get it on the Xbox instead. I'll subscribe. I subscribe to Games Pass, so I get the best. I'll get the superior version next time. I just won't play it on my PlayStation console.
I don't. As big as Call of Duty is, I don't think it has that. It's not a system seller, I don't think, in that way, which is hard to say, but
I disagree. I vehemently disagree with that.
Well,
I think if Xbox says Call of Duty is exclusive to Games Pass / whatever console they have out at the time,
Right.
there will be bundles galore for that, and people would. I think it's a system seller. You think Halo's a system seller? I think Call of Duty would be a system seller.
Well, Halo's had some issues with the last few Halo games, but I mean, in general, yes, Halo is
name recognition alone. Yeah, I think it's a system.
Well, I mean, I would counter that with, why is Microsoft even throwing out the olive branch? Right? Why are they even saying, "Hey, Sony"?
Because they have to. Because they have to. That's why. They have to.
I mean, maybe. I mean, that's why it's coming to Switch. Yeah, you're right.
The deal has to go. Okay, look. Put it this way: if you would have told Microsoft, "Hey, you don't have to make a deal with anybody. We don't care about the competitive balance or anything like that. If you want to buy it. Then there would be no agreement. There would be no deal. There would be no deal. They just would have bought it, and it would have been it.
Yeah.
Okay. As a matter of fact, to prove that, to strengthen my point on that note, they've been in talks to buy Activision Blizzard for a year and some months, right?
Sure.
And it was only when they got opposition is when we heard about the agreement. We didn't hear about the agreement 6 months ago.
It seems a little convenient, right? That it's like, oh, hey, Sony, we did say we were gonna give you a 10-year, 10-year confirmation or whatever, or agreement.
It's only when places push back on the purchase, right, on acquisition, is when you heard, oh, you know what, we're going to put it on other platforms. Now we're going to have an agreement. We'll make it, because you didn't hear that when they first said it. When they first said it, we was like, we're going to buy it. And look.
Right. There was no mention of Nintendo, no mention of PlayStation, yeah.
And I love Phil Spencer. He's my favorite gaming personality today.
He's the GOAT.
That's out today.
He's the GOAT.
Right. And one of the first things he said was, "Oh yeah, we're not going to put it out every year. We're gonna hold it at least a year or two to make it the best quality possible." Right. So yeah, there was no mention of we're gonna put it on. We're gonna keep it on PlayStation. As a matter of fact, he kept that quiet. He said, "I can't talk to that." The exclusivity or anything like that. Right. And so we're still we're still trying to purchase it.
Right. That's a coy way of saying, like, we don't want to put it on Sony if we don't have to. Yeah. So
again, I'm taking it from a different perspective. Everybody's taking it at face value as far as, oh, Sony's, this is ridiculous. Why would they put out an inferior product on your platform? It's not that. It's if they want to do something different with the architecture that that they feel, for right or wrong, that they feel will take them in the next to the next level. And this is the way we want to do our next console. Right, we're being innovative. Right. And it turns out to be a disaster, which they have to live with for a generation, right? Like, they're going to have to live with it for at least 5 years.
Now Microsoft is pod committed, and they have to make it work. They have to do their thing to make it work.
Will they put in the resources to make it work to the level, to the standard that it's going to work on other consoles?
Yeah.
And I say no.
Okay.
And Sony thinks the same way. But let's talk about something different. Let's take it from another perspective. Let's talk about Sony. Let's say Call of Duty is inferior on them. What should they do? Right? I still say, and everybody keeps saying, listen, Sony, in your back pocket, you got SOCOM, which we didn't mention on the first time we recorded this show. This part of the show, they have SOCOM, they have Resistance, and they have Killzone. They have 3 viable first-person shooters that they can use, right? SOCOM more on the Call of Duty side, right? Like that's more like kind of.
And I think the last one came out on PS3. I mean, Christ.
Yes, they had 4, and 3 of them came out on the PS2, and then the 4th one came out on
PS3.
The PS3, and they had 3 of them on the PSP. So that's their and they have Killzone and Resistance more so on the Halo side of things, right? More fantasy, first person shooter. I think they do need to revisit that and put some, and look, they own Bungie can help out with that and make it like a decent, more than a decent, a great first person shooter.
They made all of the Halos up until Reach, I think. They had a hand in them.
I may not want them to do SOCOM. I may want them to reboot Resistance more so than anything else. But
Really? I would say Killzone out of the three. I think that's the best out of the bunch.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, remember, Resistance was supposed to be the Halo. I don't want to say killer, but like the equivalent of
the competition.
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more so than Killzone was supposed to be. So that's why I said maybe Resistance, they could take that franchise and take it to the next level, and then they can have somebody else deal with SOCOM.
Right.
It looks like from all the reports that Sony is ready to make another big acquisition, which is another reason why I think my argument this whole time is I think they're really trying to push Microsoft not to buy, or they're really objecting to that. Just so when they make a purchase, they don't have to go through the same scrutiny, right? They were like, "Hey, look, you got this. We're buying this studio." They have about $5 billion left for acquisitions. So my question to you is, who do you think they should buy or invest in? Because I still think it's going to be Square.
Well,
I still think they're going to buy Square.
Square is...
And should buy Square.
Square is most definitely the one that probably will be bought. Because we talked last week about Forspoken, right? That Luminous Productions disbanded. They have been, or are being acclimated or folded into Square Enix's other divisions to work on other games. So not the worst thing in the world, but bad for the Forspoken franchise that is done. And Luminous Studios or Productions is no more, so they have been disbanded. They got rid of Tomb Raider. Got rid of Deus Ex and another franchise, I think. And, Tomb Raider did great. I don't know why they got rid of them. And so they're ripe for somebody to buy them, right? Their financials aren't great. They're really banking on, go ahead.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Banking on 16. Final Fantasy that's coming out. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you my reason. I still want to know who you think they should buy, but my reasoning is so they could focus more on the Japanese audience, right?
Sure.
We haven't talked about the sales numbers lately because you hate when I talk sales numbers, especially when Sony is doing.
No. I hate when week after week you're like, how good Sony is doing? Here's Sony sales numbers. I'm like, it's great.
To be fair, when Xbox
one time you mentioned a good thing about Xbox
because that was the one time they actually.
Doesn't have to be sales numbers. That's not the only metric, Dan. Right? You can talk about console sales till you're blue in the face. They are killing it in the Games Pass space, all right? And we know we don't talk about Games Pass subscriber numbers. Games Pass does very well. Microsoft's making money hand over fist for that. And
you know what? We did talk about that. Actually, that's not true.
Okay.
We did talk about that, and then we talked about the PS Plus membership, and it was lacking, right?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. We did one time. We talked about that one time.
No, I can't help it if they did. If they mentioned it one time, but okay. Sony has been doing gangbusters in Japan, right? Outselling the Switch in the last 2-3 months, right? Like all year.
Outselling the Xbox too. Can we say that? Is that a thing of note?
Well, I just want to say if you combine 3DS and Vita sales together, they both outsell Xbox in Japan.
God. Probably still to this day. I think you look at this month's numbers, they're selling more Vitas than they are Xboxes.
Well, I'm saying, they've put this generation, they've put a focus on, the Western audience, right? They've gotten away from the Japanese audience. It wasn't like a big focus for them. By buying Square, that changes everything, right? Because you got Final Fantasy, you got the Octopath Travelers, and I have so many games that in my head, and I mentioned at least 3 of them when we first did, and I can't think of it now. I've gone to blank. I don't know what other RPGs that they have.
Well, I mean, they also own all the Enix properties, which is really just Dragon Quest, right? So that's a big one.
Oh yeah, Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest is big. I mean, the whole Final Fantasy franchise in general is more than just the mainline series. The Chocobo Dungeons, the Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm stuff. There's the mainline games, like Crystal Chronicles, and they got a ton of stuff.
No, that brings to exactly what I'm saying. Like all those RPGs, you can put them on PlayStation platforms exclusively,
and you would be that'd be the only place you could play them. That would hurt the Switch so much because now Sony's the only place you can play them. And there's no portable system. Now, Sony could say, hey, we'll go ahead and put them on the Switch because they're going to make money either way because they own Square Enix. That's kind of the Call of Duty thing, right? Microsoft's going to put it on PlayStation.
I don't think they would do that. I think the whole purpose of buying them is to keep it on the Sony platform so they can cater to the Japanese audience.
I mean,
and have them buy,
if the goal is to switch people over to PlayStation, right? But there's no portable version of PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that hurts. If there was a Vita, I would 100% agree with you. Now you got the portable thing.
Well, you know what?
Home console.
You know what?
You could bring the Vita back, right?
The Vita 2, baby.
Oh, it's never happening, Dad. They are out of that space. And I doubt
one day my E3 prediction will be correct.
I mean,
it just won't be called the Vita. I'm just gonna call it.
No, it's definitely not going to call it the Vita. No.
Oh yeah, how about this? The PSP 2.
No, they wouldn't call it that.
Like numbers.
They would call it something completely different.
PSP 2 is the PSP 2. We got the PSP 1. Then now Dave can call the PSP.
When was the PSP last relevant? We were working at Circuit City. It was 2005 is when that system came out. All right, no. It lasted till like 2011, maybe 2012, and then the Vita
2012 is when the Vita came.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, we haven't heard from the PSP
2011.
So it has been.
It'll be the PSP 2.
It has been like
that name. They want to keep that positive name because the Vita is sort of a negative name.
The PSP did a lot better than the Vita. Yeah, PSP was a great system.
There you go. PSP 2.
The Vita, I can't speak to because I do not own a Vita. Nor have I've never actually touched a Vita. No.
Is that possible? No, I feel like.
What do you mean? How is that possible? It was one of the most underperforming handheld consoles of all time.
I think I gave you my Vita to hold in your hand for the first time. You've held a Vita.
Oh, I mean, maybe I've held it, but I've never actually played a game on it. Yeah.
Oh, you would love it. You know what it is? It's the.
I'm sure I would, but they're mad expensive right now. Again, price is the barrier to entry.
I think I own like 4 Vitas.
I bet you do. Yeah. I'd love to get one, but
Okay. Well, who do you think they should buy, though?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you in the Square Enix front. I think the other company that's viable is Ubisoft. I know you say no, but they are hurting financially.
I think Ubisoft would cost more than $5 billion.
Maybe. They just recently. I think that's gone through. They acquired a cash infusion from some Chinese company, some Chinese investor, I think. So maybe they'll be okay. But I mean, they had to delay their Skull and Bones, right? That was like in flux for a long time. They canceled a lot of things with Splinter Cell. Where the hell is that franchise? What are they doing with that?
Well, technically, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wrong. Their market worth right now is 2.85 billion euro, which translates to roughly
2.8.
Yeah, well, if you Google Ubisoft worth, it says 2.85 billion euro.
Oh, 2.85 billion. Okay, so let's say like 3 billion American. Yeah.
Technically, they can buy them. Yeah, they can buy them.
They can buy them and then some.
I stand corrected.
Right?
I stand corrected. If you only have to buy one, though. So let's say you only got to buy one. You can't buy both. Who would you want? Who would you advise them to buy? Would you advise them to buy Ubisoft or Square Enix?
I would say that Ubisoft has more properties as a whole, but I think Squaresoft would do better for them. Because they could go the exclusive route, and they would be the RPG company. Because most of them come out of the Square Enix camp. I mean, yeah, there's Atlas and some other companies. Koei Tecmo does some too. There's other companies, but nothing's as big as Square. Yeah, I would say that. And then you know what? Maybe a little bit down the line, you pick up Ubisoft, right? Like,
so if you Google Square Enix worth. It says 770.72 billion yen.
Okay. Oh, wait, billion yen?
Yes.
He times that by 100. That's American USD. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Big difference. Okay. So they're killing it.
They're worth a little bit more. Big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I stand corrected. Buy Ubisoft.
Yeah, I mean that's the easier buy. Yeah. So maybe Squaresoft isn't hurting as much, but I know they've tried to shed some, So they're obviously now meeting their financial quotas. But who knows?
So let's talk about another big game delay.
Mm-hmm.
Something that was super surprising. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Delayed again. This comes from Jason Schreier from Bloomberg. You know, I think he's like the #1 video game journalist.
He's the journalist goat. Yeah, he's big.
So it hasn't officially been announced yet by WB, right? Or Rocksteady. Definitely can't buy them for $5 billion. You have to go up. You're gonna have to add a couple of zeros to that, right?
Yes.
But some people say it's because of the bad reception from the PlayStation, showcase that happened a couple of weeks ago.
I think that's 100% the reason why they're doing it. They wanna tweak the formula a little bit. I think.
I think it's in large part because, because everything that people had an issue with was mostly it's not a single player experience at all. You get, it's going to be you and 3 bots every single mission if you don't have a squad of people, right?
Right.
It's mostly a multiplayer game. And which is not the same as Avengers, because in Avengers there were only less than a handful of portions of missions where they were bots.
Is that the other game that people were comparing it to? A, because it's a superhero game, and 2, because of the squad based mechanics.
Correct.
Oh,
so you can play most of. I mean, you can play the game by yourself. With missions that are just you in a particular superhero, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is Thor's mission. This is Captain America's mission.
Sure.
Like, this is Iron Man's mission, right? I mean, there are certain instances where there are superheroes with you playing as bots, but not the whole game. Where this is the whole game, apparently, is you and either 3 of your friends, 3 strangers, or 3 AI bots who may or may not be good, right?
So
the bots may suck.
I'll say that. Well, I mean, that's dependent on how good the game code is, for sure, right? Like, yeah. Ideally, we're assuming that bots will have good AI and good path tracking and whatnot, and be able to give you a decent experience. If it's not, well, it's game over for the single player thing, right? And that's worrisome. That may be the case. I like the fact
they can't fix in a few months. They can't fix that in a few months.
Well, I mean, no one knows if it's good or bad. No one knows what state it's in. Maybe it needs a little bit of work. Maybe they need to tweak it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if that is the reason. I don't know how bad it is. Well, there's also the fact that even when you're playing in single player mode with your squad of bots, you have to be online. Why? I mentioned it before. There's no reason.
That's not.
Yeah, there's no reason to be online in that case. They really are pushing the play with 3 other people, and they're pushing they're really banking on, I think, like the DLC, the microtransaction purchases and whatnot. Because you're gonna see, like, if you play as like Deadshot, or you go on and play as Harley Quinn or the Shark Guy or whatever, right? And I'm playing as whoever, and then I see you have some cool shit. I'm gonna go, I want that cool shit. And I'm gonna go and potentially use the in-game credits and buy that stuff.
Well, people don't like. Well, from what I saw, the online thing was, I want to say, minor.
Okay.
Sort of a backdrop to the lack of single player experience, where it's just you, no bots. Give me, because when you have bots, that means you're making the game cater to having a squad, right? Instead of
they want you to play with other people. You're not wrong. Yeah.
So that was the major thing. 2, the outfits. I mean, I know, I was listening to GameScoop.
That's the microtransactions.
And they were arguing, was like, why does Lex Luthor look like he has General Grievous on his suit? Why is he wearing a suit?
We're talking about the art style. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is he wearing a power suit, and then why he look like his general is made for General Grievous in Star Wars? Because
right.
If you look at it, it does.
You could fix that.
It looks ridiculous.
You could reskin that in 6 months, I think.
And then also, right? It looks like from the gameplay that they're not using their traditional weapons. They're using like blasters and guns.
Right.
Like, you're not using your powers. Like, this is what you're known for. Like, if you're boomerang, right? The Flash's like nemesis. Why aren't you using a boomerang? Like, why are you using a blaster? Like, why do you have a blaster in your hand? It would be the equivalent of a Mario game coming out, and Mario has a gun, just like Sonic.
Right.
the black Sonic had like a gun, which was like
Shadow.
Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Shadow.
Exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
Exactly.
Why does he have a weapon? Like that doesn't make any sense. They did it
because it's racist. They didn't realize, but it is, Dad. It is. It's 100%. Why does the black hedgehog have a gun? Oh, because he's edgy? No, they didn't think about it too hard, but it is.
You just said
I'm sorry. Sega messed up, Dan. It was terrible. And it was all over the internet. Listen, I'm saying it. It is what it is. All right?
All right.
Shadow doesn't have a gun anymore, I'll tell you that. He had the gun in that one game, and then they're like, maybe we don't do this anymore. He got rid of the gun. What? Am I wrong?
He's a tough backstory, man.
Yeah, that's right. He came from the mean streets of Green Hill Zone. That's rough and tumble out there.
No. Chemical.
Oh, the chemical plant? Yeah, right.
Chemical plant. He gave him the mean streets of the chemical plant, man.
Oh, my God. It's a hard life of drugs.
It is,
Well, I don't know. Like, okay, I mean, I get all that. My thing with it is, like, I don't like the gear stuff, the gear score. Because that means you're gonna be grinding. It's gonna be just like Diablo and like Destiny and all the other looter shooters and Borderlands, where you get one weapon, and the weapon has like a +2 bonus. Like it's just a little bit better than the previous one. And every like 10 to 15 minutes, you keep getting a new piece of gear that's just a little bit better than the last one. And that's what the game is gonna be. That's what the grind is gonna be. And they're gonna integrate the microtransactions so you can buy better gear. They have the squad, so you see the gear, and you're like, "Oh, I want that. Why don't I have that?" And they go, "Well, you can buy it for $2.99, and then you'll go and buy the gear, right?" It's all coordinated. I don't like any of that. I wish it was single player, squad or not. I wish it was single player, offline, and no needing to be online when you're playing alone.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be released this year?
Yes, I do. But it doesn't matter. It could be released next year. It could be released in 3 years. I don't think the core gameplay mechanic's going to change, and that's the problem.
So I think WB like has like they have this Batman, right? The Gotham Knights came out, didn't do so well.
No,
not great game.
It's kind of terrible. I mean, it got 4s and 5s.
So it's an okay game. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's a 4. It's a 5. Type
all right,
game,
6. You give it a 6. You give it a 6.
I would give it a 6.5.
Okay. All right.
It's not a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. I understand. I said this when it first came out. It is bad comparatively to the Gotham games, right? The Arkham games, the Arkham games.
Sure.
If this game came out first, this would be a little bit more well regarded, right? But everybody was expecting,
I suppose,
Arkham without Batman, an Arkham game without Batman with Rob, and it's not that. And I think honestly, when I was watching the premise, the PlayStation Showcase, the State of Play, when they had the Suicide Squad, I said this is a missed opportunity. I know it's two different studios, but it's the one company, WB, that owns.
You could have tried to link the universes together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, where you have, an online play with Gotham Knights, online play with Suicide Squad, and then you could sort of link them together for special events where they go head to head, right? Totally missed opportunity.
Agreed. That would have been awesome.
So you got, that didn't do so well. You got Hogwarts Legacy, right? WB owns that as well. It's doing great, right? So you went from a low to a high, and then you go from that to leaking Mortal Kombat 12 in a conference call. All right, so that's it's officially been, they want to release it. Think about it. This could be the first time since the 90s that we're going to get a new Street Fighter and a new Mortal Kombat game in the same year. Kind of crazy. Think about that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
And then people hated Suicide Squad killed the Justice League trend. All right, so it was like these highs and lows.
For sure. Yeah. So I mean, I I'm not buying this game, but are you gonna go and pick it up?
I don't know.
The answer is no.
I want to. I want to.
Yeah, you want the game to be good, is what you're saying, and so do I. But it's not. They're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it the way that fans expect.
This is the one time. It's a game like this. For me, is something where I need to see the review, not because I care about the score necessarily. I need to see how the AI bots are. Are they on every mission? Are there missions where I could just be by myself? Are they going to change it in any way?
Right.
Where I could just be by myself, and it's not like me and 3 bots that suck, right? Are the AI bots comparable? Like, are they decent? Right? Are we not going to die because one of them dies? And I don't even know if one of them dies. Is the mission over? Like, I gotta watch my back and their back too? Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Right. That's true. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns.
So I need. This is where I need to see the review. Again, I'm not looking at the review as far as what they score it, because that's irrelevant in my view. For me, I need to see how it is, sort of the gameplay and the mechanics and stuff like that. And then that will inform my decision if I buy it for $70 flat out, right?
Oh yeah, it is going to be $70, right?
It will be $70.
That's another thing. Oh.
So, all right. Go to another Japanese company, one that was in some financial trouble, but now I don't think is nowhere near, is out of the league for Sony to buy, and that is Capcom. Capcom had their Capcom Spotlight, which I don't know if I like that name. Capcom Spotlight. Just call it Direct. Just say, what, Capcom Direct.
So, if I were to tell you, hey Dan, did you see the Direct yesterday? And you go, the Nintendo Direct? No, Capcom
Direct. The Capcom Direct. Call it Capcom.
They already have a Direct. You get out of the
either
confusion.
Microsoft. It's either Microsoft. Microsoft has the developer Direct. Remember, they have a Direct as well.
Slightly different, isn't it? Isn't it developer showcase? Is it the actual call it Direct?
No, it's developers Direct.
Wow, it's developers Direct. It's double D. It's 1D better. We at least get that. What? I was just saying, it's a different name. It's different.
So
they all can't be Direct.
What if it was Devolver Digital Direct, the triple D?
Oh, that's just a D too far, Dan. I'm sorry. It's too many. Too many Ds. So Capcom. What do we got?
1D short.
Yeah.
All right,
Capcom Spotlight. I mean, it's not a terrible name, Spotlight. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I think they could have been a little bit more clever with it. So, look, we're not going to go through. Well, I guess we could go through everything, but there's nothing. It wasn't anything to write home about. I mean, if this was an E3, I mean, it's better. Honestly, in the last 2 years, their Capcom Spotlight was better than an E3 showcase that they had in the last 2 years.
Right.
By the way.
Right. Well, this was a deep dive more than a new upcoming game.
Correct.
Release
Correct.
thing. Yeah.
So we got, I mean, look, we know from earlier in the show you're playing Resident Evil Chainsaw demo, right? That the Resident Evil 4 remake Chainsaw demo.
Yep.
They announced it here. It was out today. I didn't get a chance to record it. I didn't get a chance to download it and play it. Hopefully now that we're doing, part 2 of this show, I get a chance to download it. I would like to play it tonight. And you're digging it, even though you had a Game of Grief when you couldn't find it on the Xbox.
And I have a love-hate relationship with the game mechanics, aka the chainsaws. So I mean, yeah, but it's good. It's good. Try it.
I stand by what I said. I think you should play this whole game in PSVR 2 when it comes out.
Come on, Dan. I never back down from a challenge.
Then he talked about Exo Primal coming out July 14th, all platforms and Games Pass. Probably go in and check it out. Talking about multiplayer games, right? This is their Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is their Destiny. This is their Division. This is Capcom's getting in. And guess what? I'll be honest, nobody cares. I haven't heard one peep about Exo Primal. And
I think it looks cool.
It looks cool, but no one's setting it. No hype. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It's tough because it's a brand new franchise and it's not based on any pre-existing property either. So it's they're really like. It's hard, it's like, hey, it's like when the first Assassin's Creed came out, it was like no one knew what it was, so I don't know. Hopefully it does well.
Let me get a new expansion, Monster Hunter Rise Sun Pack.
Sunbreak. Yeah.
Sunbreak. That's coming out April 28th.
Right. This was after the Ice Break, I think, or the Ice. They had an Ice theme one previously. Now they have the Sun theme one, which is cool.
I don't
Ice
know.
Storm, I think. I think so. I think it was like Ice Storm or something.
Then we get a port from the 3DS, right? Ghost Trick Phantom Detective coming out June 30th. And
this game looks awesome. I'm excited.
Looks cool.
You
Not
get
something
to.
I'm really excited for. I mean, it's a new announcement technically. Though. They did. I don't think they announced this any other time.
No, this was at the Nintendo Direct, the other Direct. Oh yeah,
the other Direct.
Yeah.
The single D Direct.
The single D Direct. That's right. I mean, it's cool because you get to like be a detective and figure out like they show you like, oh, this person died and how they died, and then you have to figure out how to save that person by like moving stuff around.
It's so morbid. It's so morbid, Dave.
Yeah,
it's so morbid.
that's awesome.
This is how this person died.
Listen. It's a very, very much a Japanese game. Japanese art style, Japanese aesthetics. I like it.
Then they showcase Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection coming out April 14th, right? If you want those games, I think there were like 10 of those because you were right. The first episode they came out. Remember the first time we recorded this, they came out like just like Pokemon, right? They gave like sort of like a silver and black or
some of them, yeah. There was like red version, blue version, right? So like I think like from like through I think 3, 4, and 5 maybe had like separate versions like that. So you can kind of count those as their own. And then I think there was some on the DS too. Like there was like 5 on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, I never got to play any of them. They were all in this collection.
For the original, GBA games, because they were originally on GBA. They came out on GBA. The first 2, loose, by the way, we're just talking about loose. The first 2 are a little expensive, over $100. Everything else you can probably get between like $30 and $60, depending on, like the third, like the third one, 60. Like, as we go down in the numbers, they go down in price.
Well, yeah, I mean they're hard to get. They're on older hardware. Now they're moving it forward to the Switch. I think this is good. I don't think it's going to affect the retro game sale prices. It never really does, surprisingly. But, accessibility is the name of the game. Yeah, it's good that everyone can play these now, including me.
Then they talked about Street Fighter 6. They introduced the last commentator. I mean, they're going to be 8 commentators, all together, and they're going to be in 13 different languages. Selena Vega, the first Queen of the Ring in WWE, and she will be a commentator on here, and she's awesome. I like her. I wish they really pushed Selena. I really like her. It's the only time I get to talk about wrestling on the show. I really think they should push her.
Well, she dressed up as I think jury in one of the latest WWE broadcasts or whatever.
She did that at the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series. There's one of those. She did it at pay-per-view.
Yeah, one of those pay-per-view events, which is awesome. I
no, she did it at the Royal Rumble. She did it at the Royal Rumble.
Okay,
because it stands out. She did it at the Royal because they had in the Royal Rumble. They have the women's Royal Rumble now with the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, I love that they do the crossovers. That's great. Video game and wrestling crossovers. Good stuff.
Well, the New Day had at WrestleMania 35. They came out dressed as Saiyans.
Oh, love it with the big spiked hair, like the yellow spiked hair, and
they didn't have the hair, just the outfit.
Okay,
like the Saiyan outfits, like Vegeta. It was crazy.
Like the orange geese. Yeah.
I'm sure Vince had no idea what they were wearing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what this is, but the fans seem to like it.
Go with it. Yeah. Then they announced the movie. Resident Evil Death Island coming out in the summer, animated movie. I didn't care about that too much.
No, it's they never do. They never do amazing. They're always kind of Voice actors are weird. Yeah. And
to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Capcom is making a digital theme park called Capcom Town, and it'll be available June 23rd.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what this is going to be? Did they like get into details on this, or they just said, "Hey, we're doing a thing for the anniversary"?
I have no idea what it's going to be, and the only theme park I'm concerned with is the Nintendo theme park that's going to be at Universal.
Yeah, right. When you hear like digital theme park, you mean like what? An interactive website, which is what it will be, but like what's going to be there is the question.
If that's the case, do like what was it, the 50th anniversary, like Atari, right? Like you can have that theme park style with the history, and then have like
a bunch of games on a thing.
You can have the original. You can have the Street Fighter 2. The arcade one, maybe, right?
Sure.
You have Resident Evil.
Sure. You put Bionic Commando in there, or Captain Commando. Some of their beat 'em up, Final Fight. Yeah. Do a game or two from each like generation, right? Put like 10 or 20 games on there.
That's what That's what you should do. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
And you know what would make it would sweeten the pot? Mm-hmm. Because they have a bunch of arcade games that never got released on console or never got released in America, and you could put those out too. Put the Japanese. If it never got released in America, it's fine. Put the Japanese version out.
Sure.
And that would sweeten the pot, and then everybody would want to buy this.
They may end up doing that too. They may do some big things for their 40th, like re-release some games, and maybe they're also doing like a thing for that. I'm surprised they didn't mention it yet, but I'm excited to see what they do with Capcom Town. We'll see. Could be a dud. Could just be like, you know, pretty bland, but
it's definitely going to be a dud.
This guy. All
right. Let's end with something weird. And I thought this was funny. I didn't think this was real when I first saw this, but this apparently will be weird. I mean, when the original, you know, I love the fact that Xbox leans into, you know, the memes, right? Mm-hmm. When the original original Series X was announced, it looked like a refrigerator. So what did they do? They put out two versions of a refrigerator, right?
They did, yeah. They even shipped out life-size fridges to some creators.
So now, YouTubers.
Yeah.
So now we have the Series S. Looks like a toaster, and they're actually going to put out a toaster. I thought it looked like a radio, to be honest, when I first saw this, but no, it's going to be a toaster. And here are the specs: 120 volts, 60 hertz, 800 watt toaster with 2 slice toasters, 40 millimeter side slots, 1 to 6 level browning settings, anti-jam function, and anti-slip feet.
All right, I gotta know how much RAM is in this. That's what I want to know. How much RAM they got in this, right? And can it run Crysis?
I'm just saying, you could probably shove 3 slices in there. You can make it work.
Oh my god, I love it. I love that they're doing it. I will not be buying this, but I think it's awesome. All right, Andy, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I will, because this is going to be a limited time thing. It is video game related, all right? It could be good. It could be good to get one.
It'd be good. Well, no. I mean, listen, I didn't get the fridge. I don't need a toaster.
Well, I mean, I think you mentioned previously that you can't have the fridge plugged in for that long because it's dangerous.
Which makes no sense to me. I can't even use it for what it's made for, which is weird.
Yeah, right. Right. Its primary function is to be a fridge, and yet it's not a fridge.
So, all right, Dave, that's it for the news. Mm-hmm. You got any good weekend plans?
I probably buying a new laptop this weekend.
Okay, you should buy Vaio. I want to say Sony Vaio. I did that the first time, but I realized I forgot as I was saying.
Because Dan's a Sony fanboy. He's got to get everything Sony.
No, I buy everything Apple. If Apple made video games,
except for TVs. Console. Although Apple doesn't make TVs.
That too. But I do have an Apple TV. I have 2 of them.
No, I'm not going to buy a Vaio. I don't even know who owns the Vaio company or if the Vaio brand is even good anymore. It used to be cool.
It's still around. It's still around. You can buy it for $2,000.
Probably going to buy a Surface. I love their 2-in-1s.
Of course you will.
They're good. Well, no. Okay, look. The prices are affordable. They have a ton of different configuration options. It is a tablet and a keyboard.
Why don't you get a Gateway?
They don't make gateways anymore. I don't even think gateways are around anymore.
Or get a Gateway or HP.
No. Yeah, I mean, look. I've had a Surface before. It's done me well. I think it's great. The model that I want still has a headphone jack on it, which is very hard to come by. It's got USB-C support, and I can rip off the keyboard and turn it into a tablet and take it around. And, I have the old Surface 3, but I have that mounted to the wall as my, home automation screen. So I need something new, and that thing's from 2015. So I got to give me something new, Dan. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. And I guess jumping into the Resident Evil demo a little bit more. I'm gonna plow through that a little bit more and finish up Metroid Prime. So how about you? What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I was curious about what you just said, and yes, Gateway apparently still exists.
Well, nobody's buying them. I don't know who's buying these computers.
They still exist. I initially thought they didn't because I went to gateway.com. Didn't work. So you had to go to Gateway USA.
I see.
That's when you see. They got Surface. They got some Surface level products here.
I'm sure they're just as good.
Just as good. I'm going to sort of see if I'm going to stick with Pikmin 3 and see if this is the SMR game I want to go. And I'm just hyped for PAX. I'm looking into all the PAX stuff, all the stuff we can do in PAX.
Yeah, that's coming up soon.
You know, PAX is going to be really big for us. I think the next episode will be the last episode before we go to PAX, right? Because this comes up Tuesday, and then we'll do, this will be the next week will be the last. The next episode we record will be the last episode we record while we go to PAX.
It's coming up quick. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's coming up quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, that is episode 350 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming. Again.